Thomas Edward Patrick Brady is not done. He's not done. He said, you know what? Let's run it back. I'm not done. The job is not finished. I got more stuff to do. I got more to prove. And I'm going to run it back with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was surprised, y'all. I was surprised. Because I'm like, dude, what do you have to prove? I mean, look, we talk about the Mamba mentality. We should probably talk about the Brady mentality in the same light, if not in a higher light, because this guy has won 7 Super Bowls, is unanimously the best quarterback to ever live. He's 43 years old, and he's still saying the job is not finished. He still has more to prove. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck is going on? I mean, like, look, what else you have to prove, bro? I mean, you already the greatest. You're already the greatest. Like, what else you have to prove? But he loves football. He knows that he can still play at an elite level. He threw 43 touchdowns last year, right? So he knows that, you know what? I can still play at an elite level. It's not like I was playing this season like Peyton Manning in Denver in his last year. It's not like he wasn't the Tom Brady of old. In fact, he might have been playing better than the Tom Brady of old, right? He has been phenomenal at a top 3 quarterback in this league. I think Tom Brady is. If you want to say he's not top 3, he's definitely top 5, right? So he has a lot left in the tank for sure, right? But there's one guy that the football world should thank for Tom Brady unretiring, and that is Cristiano Ronaldo, because Tom Brady was in attendance for Ronaldo when he scored 3 goals for Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur. At the end of the day, he's looking at this like, you know what? Ronaldo is 37 years old. He is playing at an elite level, and his longevity is unmatched. I mean, this guy scored a hat trick with the same team he scored his first hat trick with 14 years ago, right? So this guy is doing stuff that we have never seen, and Tom Brady has done stuff that we have never seen. And he's thinking like, you know what? If Ronaldo can continually produce and produce and produce consistently, why can't I do that, right? I'm thinking like, hey, we got 2 GOATs talking. You know, Ronaldo asked him, he was like, hey, man, are you really retiring? He was like, yeah. I think he was looking at CR7 and was like, hey, if this guy can do this, heck, I can do this back in the NFL. I don't blame Tom Brady. Obviously, he must have gotten the blessing from his family in order to, you know, come back in NFL. But it's like, if you're playing this game for so long, it's kind of like you feel out of place, right? If you're not going to practice, if you're not going to training camp, all that, if you're not on that grind to get a Super Bowl, right? It's kind of weird. It's like, what's my purpose, right? So I think Tom Brady was kind of lost himself in the offseason. He's like, bro, like, what do I do now? Well, what do I do now? So I'm glad that Tom Brady is back in the NFL. I could see him playing a 45. Honestly, bro, if he wins a Super Bowl this year, I don't see Tom Brady coming back. I wouldn't want him to come back, honestly. I mean, matter of fact, I wouldn't say that. I want Tom Brady to play as long as he wants, right? I love watching Tom Brady play. I mean, it is a privilege to watch him play. It is a privilege to watch this greatness, to watch a guy who is 43 years old still be one of the most premier quarterbacks in the league right now. And look, the Buccaneers, I mean, a loss is a loss, but they did come back 27-3 on the reigning Super Bowl champs. I mean, look, they did lose, but they lost fighting. They lost swinging. And I think Tom Brady is looking at that like, you know what? I'm going to get Chris Godwin back. I'm going to have a better squad, or maybe not a better squad, but you know, he's going to have some of his guys back, and he has that belief that as long as I'm on your team, we got a chance. And I believe that the Bucs still got a very good chance to get out, you know, out of the NFC. Right? I know one guy that is like, dang it, is who? Aaron Rodgers. He's like, this guy, I mean, he went from the AFC to the NFC, and he's been a nightmare for me. And he's only been in the NFC for like 2 years, right? So Aaron Rodgers is probably like, man, this guy. I mean, can you like hang it up already? Can you hang it up already? But another guy, right, that I think that there's one guy in the NFL that is happy, is beyond happy that Tom Brady has unretired. And that player is Patrick Mahomes. Because in the event that the Buccaneers get to the Super Bowl and the Chiefs meet them in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes will have a chance to beat Tom Brady. Look at this, bro. If Tom Brady retired and never went back to the game, he would always have it over his head that he was undefeated in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes. Now with Tom Brady unretiring, it leaves the door open for a potential matchup with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady in the playoffs. And if Patrick Mahomes can beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, people might look at it like, you know what? He's gone over the hump. The only guy that's beat him in the playoffs, well, I guess Joe Burrow too. But aside from Joe Burrow, the only guy that's beat him in the playoffs has been Tom Brady. That's been twice, in 2019 in the AFC Championship and in 2021 in the Super Bowl as well, right? So at the end of the day, I would say that, you know, Patrick Mahomes, he is jumping up and down. He is happy. He's like, hey, man, I get another shot to potentially beat the GOAT and help my case in terms of being the greatest quarterback of all time. Because if you look at it like this, I think no matter what Patrick Mahomes does, even though he has done stuff that we have never seen, and even if he wins 5 or 6 Super Bowls, people will still say, hey, Tom Brady beat you. Tom Brady beat you. You never beat Tom Brady, right? Now, people might say, you know what? Well, that's this logic. You can say that about Eli Manning and Tom Brady. This means Eli Manning is the GOAT. Nobody has put Eli Manning in the GOAT conversation, right? But if you have two guys that are in the GOAT conversation, right? And Patrick Mahomes still has a long way to go. But if you have two guys in that conversation and one guy is undefeated against the other guy in the playoffs, you're going to say that the other guy is better. Like what? But if Patrick Mahomes gets at least just beats Tom Brady one time in the playoffs, it makes the optics look better for him and his GOAT case. Let me know if you agree with that statement. I mean, like, look, Patrick Mahomes, I feel like he is jumping up and down. He's like, bet I can get my lick back on Tom Brady because he is undefeated against him as of right now. Tom Brady is, right? But let me know your reaction to Tom Brady unretiring from the NFL. Like I said, CR7, this guy right here, Cristiano Ronaldo, he had a lot to do with this, if I do say so myself. But let me know what you think. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm Miles Johnson. This is Real Talk with MJ, where y'all know I always keep it real. Peace and blessings. I'm out.